Alright, welcome back for Nomadic Mining episode 2. So in this one we're going to be going after these two dense Veldspar rocks. Hopefully we'll do a little better in terms of income for this trip. But we're going to go ahead and get these lasers on and get these dudes cycling. Now, since we're going in like a spiral starting from Jita, a lot of these systems, these ones and these 0.9s and stuff like that, they're gonna be pretty highly populated. We got about 22 people in the system right now, so same rules as applied as last system. We're gonna be mainly looking at D-scan. We're gonna be just kind of looking for in local really big spikes, but it could be just fleets passing through. It's a big thoroughfare through here, but just suspects and stuff like that, and just looking at D-scan for anything like coursers or catalyst or whatever. Now whenever I'm selecting asteroid belts for mining, I usually try to get as far away from the gates as possible. As you can see here, the closest gate is about 18.5 AU. What that does is if anybody comes into the system, I'm essentially out of D-scan range, which is just a common practice that I'm going to be going for as we're kind of moving through New Eden here. And it's a habit that I've always done, and we're not going to be able to do that every single time in every single system. There's going to be asteroid belts that are going to be in range of gates and stuff like that we're just going to have to worry about here. So what I'm doing is I'm just D-scanning about every 2 to 5 seconds when I can. Right now we're gonna be probably, there's so many high security systems around Jita right now, which we have a lot of traveling to do to kind of hit all this. Now I have my star map set to floating, set to average pilots in space every 30 minutes, so that gives me a lot of options when I'm getting ready to move to a new system. I can kind of roll over these systems and see how many pilots were in space in the last 30 minutes, and that kind of is a rolling 30. So if I want to kind of get into a system and when it's kind of low population and kind of check that one off the list, then I can use that metric to do that. Now I'm also tracking my progress on this little expedition as well through a spreadsheet. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm logging episode number, the system that we were in, and then the security of that system in a sortable list. And as we kind of build that list out, as we kind of progress through this series, I'll be able to search basically where we've been. And so when we really start getting to the point where we've covered a lot of the existing high-sec systems, where I suspect system selection is going to be more difficult, because if we don't, it's going to be difficult to go systematic in most cases, and I really don't want to put too many restrictions on myself that way. I would like to just kind of maybe just move in a direction instead of staying in a constellation or whatever. So by tracking where we've been, we'll be able to know, if we know where we've been, we know where we need to go, and we'll be just building it out. I'm going to try to pull a list for every system in the game with probably the Excel API, or get it directly from CCP, so I can kind of work. I think it'd be easier if I had a full list of everything and I just kind of checked where I've been, and then I can see where I haven't been. But I'll probably do a little bit of work on getting that list in this weekend or whatever. But I figured I just wanted to kind of start this expedition and just kind of I want it to be chill. I want it to be chill. I want it to be relaxed. I want it to be entertaining. I want to be able to kind of, for anybody else who's out there mining, or is a little confused about kind of what's going on in my head when I'm mining and what things I'm looking at, to avoid confrontation or to avoid ganking. That's kind of the big motivation for this. And I think traveling and going and seeing a bunch of different systems is nice, because for me, historically, before I went to nullsec, I would be based out of a single high-sec system, and I would live there. And then going to nullsec, you would live in a system that you or your corporation were renting, or your alliance had control over. So I really want to kind of explore as much as possible, and that was really the big motivation for this series, was to be able to just move around and just to go to places that I normally wouldn't go. For instance, like Amar Space, like Amar Space is probably one of the biggest areas that I've just never been to, never had to go there, around New Dixie and things like that. So I think it would just give me a good opportunity to kind of like go out and explore and everything, and little micro episodes of doing it. We're doing pretty good. We've got probably about 3 more minutes of mining here, and like I said, the minimal goal for this series is to do at least one cycle in every system possible. So, but we're also kind of like wanting to make some ISK as well. So that's why I'm kind of like targeting about 8 minutes or so per system, which will give us a good amount. Probably won't ever fill up. I mean, if I decide to use like MX1005 or implants, and we could probably do a little bit better. But right now, this tune is not running implants at all, and I'm doing that just to bring the cost down as much as possible. The same reason why I'm using expeditionary frigates here. It's 54 million, and once we start, getting into like low sec and null sec, where ship losses are going to be more prevalent, then we don't necessarily want to fly around in a 300 to 400 million mining ship. We could probably get away with it now in like a skiff or whatever, but I think I just really enjoy the prospect and endurance. I really probably don't know if I'll be doing the endurance, even in like systems where we're going to be getting rats on the belts. I can pretty much just avoid the rats while we're kind of mining, and we'll be okay with that. I'm kind of waiting on her to get the last level of like mining laser upgrade or mining upgrades, so we can fit some tank on here just to kind of mitigate that damage and stuff. But so right now what we're seeing some ventures, got some capsules, we got an orca, so we got some other miners out there, got some abandoned drones it looks like, and then a scythe and everything. Overall pretty chill system. We've got about 30 seconds left. We're going to finish this cycle and then be good to go, and then see how we kind of do. Alright, cut that. Go to our structure browser, see where we have a market at over here, and we'll dock there. And then we'll sell all this and see how we do. Bring up our wallet here. I have a little bit more ISK than I did at the end of the last episode, just because there was an air opportunity ISK reward that I redeemed. So that gave me about, what was it, like 60,000 ISK and some change. So hopefully we'll be able to sell this. If we aren't able to sell this, and we can kind of just like go to the next system, drop it in a station, and then take care of it after the next episode. But one of my biggest goals is to try to at least offload this stuff before we move. That way, once we move to the next system, we are absolutely ready to go. So let's go view market details. Looks like we got a couple sell. Oh, look at that, 1 million on that one. So we did really good. So system complete.